Good morning everyone. Today we are going to see about OOPS concept. Before going to the OOPS concept, in 1966, Alan Kay, who is just a mid student who is going to graduate from his mid school, has invented the OOPS concept. We all know OOPS is a object oriented programming language. Why OOPS? Rather than in C, we are seeing in Java, C++, Python, JavaScript, everywhere the OOPS concept. The OOPS concept, if you see the diagram of OOPS concept, it will be breakdowning the structures. If you see the object here, class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction and encapsulation. Each and every step here will be breakdowning, and each and every step has an extra matter. Whatever the things we are having here, the extra calculation or extra step if you are taking into the consideration. The first point, whoever it may be, the objects or creation, whatever the program, if we are taking it, it will be a step-by-step process. Each and every step will be a mannerism, whatever the thing we are taking into the consideration. These are the concepts of this. And if you're coming to here, it is the what is OOPS? If you're seeing the class, it contains mainly of objects. The objects, whatever we are creating it, the objects should be executed. The most of the OOPS concept, if we are going to see, it is very fast and easy to execute. Why it is fast? If we're gonna see the execution process of here, the object, class, object, each and every step is taking to the upper level. The upper level, whatever, each and every, the breakdowning structure here, each and every step will be breakdowning. The breakdowning structure will maybe taking faster execution and it will be easy to execute. The next is the Java code is dry. What is meant by dry? It means don't repeat yourself. Which is meant by this Java code is reusable. Whatever it may take, the don't repeat yourself itself tells you that the OOPS concept is a reusable data. Whatever the code you are taking, it will be easy to understand. It is reusable applications. Next, these were the main concepts: class, object, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism and abstraction. We'll be seeing one by one. The first one is class. We all know the class, the whole is a template of an object. Whatever you are taking, the process, if you are taking the whole object, for example, if you are taking a pen is an object, but the pen construction may be from different companies. Each and every company has in different types of pens, something like Bedco's or any pens. If you take gel pens, markers, each and everything comes under the object, but the whole thing will comes under the company. Whatever the thing we will be taking as a company is a class. Next, blueprint. If you are taking any schools or colleges, each and every college will be having a blueprint. With that blueprint, we can create n number of objects. In the same way, in Java code also, if you take any blueprint of any objects or any code, object blueprints, if you are taking a blueprint of any object, you can create n number of classes. With that n number of classes, you can have the outputs the same thing and it can be reusable. The next is it doesn't consume space. As we are creating just a class but not an object, there will be no memory space for this. If you see the syntax of it, the class, which is a keyword, and a class name, whatever the class name, if you want to take it. Suppose I'll be taking as a space. Space is a class name. The data members, this data members and member functions, this comes under the normal variables, and whatever the methods if you are creating it, it will comes under data members and member functions. Next is object. As I have told the whole meaning of the class, now you will be able to understand what is an object. if you're taking any example of your college or any of this, some of the things, the whole college will be a class. Or else in a college, some of the classes, whatever the classes, if you're taking something CSE, ECE, whatever the things is a class. In that, whoever the lectures, who is taking the lectures, and whatever the objects the students are there will be an object. Now if you see instance of class, which means whatever the blueprints if you are taking, all the things will be an object. As I have told the pen example, now you can see any chairs. We have n number of companies for chairs. The qualities may be wood type or any plastic or any sponges with SpongeBob models. These are the some things which will be called as objects, and here chairs are called as class. The next is individual creation. Whatever the things, for each and everything individual creation. If you are taking a thing as a chairs itself, the wood will be having separate creations. The plastic, whatever the plastic things, if you are taking as things, it will be a separate creation. And if you are taking any cloth, sponge types or anything, it will be separate creation. Whatever the things, if you are taking it, if you are, for example, as I said in the class, whatever the things we are having, the students are some of the objects. Each and every student will be having a creation of object. It will be their data, whatever their grades, and each lectures also having their data according to their classes, their personal data, their experience, where they have studied, whatever the things will comes into an object. And whatever the object is a memory address. See, the address and space in memory. It takes some space. What type of space? In a class, I have already said, class doesn't take any space. If you see chairs is a model. What type of chairs it takes? Wood chairs. How much space it contains? If you take one wood chair, how much space it takes? In the same way, plastic, SpongeBob. For example, if you take the same example as student, the student data, how much MB or how much GB, if you are taking any photos or anything, the photo is an object. The whole folder consists as a class. What are in a folder? What things you will be seeing? The photos. Those are called the objects. How much MB you are saving, how much space you are taking for that, it is called an object. If you see the syntax of the object, the class name, whatever the class name if you are taking. Here the class name is chairs. The same chair name should be there. Object name, you will be creating an object name which can be like any object names. If you want to take as a wood, it is an object. If you want to create n number of things, you can take it as wood 1, wood 2 and wood. It can come to n number of things. Then new. New is a keyword which will be a creation for it. Each and every things, whatever the objects you are taking, it will be creation of a new object. And the class name. The parenthesis and semicolon is must for an object. Next come the encapsulation. The encapsulation mainly refers of data members and member functions. The whole class consists of mainly of data members. As we have seen the syntax of class, the data members and member function. These two are the main things for the encapsulation. These two will be hiding the data. Whatever the data, it will be a single unit. In a class, if you are taking whatever the specifiers, these encapsulation mainly consist of access specifiers. We'll come further into it. Now if you see, the hiding data. According to using of the specifiers, we have 4 types of specifiers. One is public. The public refers to whoever, whatever it may be, everyone can access it. If you see a class itself, a lecture can access all the students' attendance list. But if you come to the private, the student, whoever the student is going to log in, he or she can see only her data or his data. He can't access the other person's data. While coming to the other thing, the protected, and the last one is default. The protected version. The protected is if you want to see any data, there will be a protection of lock. Only if you take a Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi will be used by, if you are in a campus, only the lecturers and the students can use it. And then if you're going outside, if you don't know the login ID and password, each and every, for a protected data, each login ID, whatever the ID you're getting as a student or as a teacher, it will be a login ID and the password will be given to you. It can be accessed only one or two persons, either if maybe for the mobile apps, mobile and laptops. Only one time it can be accessed. So it is protected. Only the person who is having the accesses can be used by it. Default. Default is the same as the public. The default is taken into the consideration of only public, because the default itself, if you're giving any, if you're not giving, and if you're creating any methods or any class, it will be directly taken into consideration of a public things. Hiding all the variables and data methods and function in a class. This access specifiers, everything can be used for the members, variables and methods. Something like if you are taking a void. Void mean, void is not non-written type, non-written. You can take it as private void main. This will be a one of the method if you are taking into the consideration. Here for the method you can take, if you are giving for any variables, you can take it as private int is equals to a. You are declaring and initializing it. In the same way, if you see the syntax, the private, public, protected. The fourth one is default, which I have already said. The default is nothing but the same as the public. So if you are giving anything or not, it will directly take it as a default. And if you are not giving any of these three specifiers, then it will directly take the data member as a public data member. Next is inheritance. Inheritance is nothing but you can take an example of parent and child. Whatever the parent specifications is having, some of all the specifications may not become, but some of the specification can be inherited by the child. But the child will be having some of the extra specifications which can't be inherited to the parent. If you see the creation of new class, existing class. With the existing class, if you are creating a class, we here, for example, class A. This is one of the class I have created. For this, as you are seeing, using features of existing class. Whatever the data members or the member functions we are having here, it can be, whatever the features, it will be extended. If you see, class B extends class A. You can call these data members, you can call these member functions, you can directly call it and you can use it. But here, this class B can't be inherited in class A because this is the new class which you are creating it. This can't be extended or inherited to the class A. This next one is deriving child class, inheriting features of parent class. If you see here, class B, this is the child class. And class A, this is parent class. Where the features of parent will be inherited by the child, but the child features can't be inherited by the parent. All the features, whatever the parent is having, will be seen in child. But if you are having any new features in a child, it can be inherited by his child or her child. The next is syntax. This is public class A and which is extends. Extends is the keyword for the inheritance. If you see, these were some of the types of the inheritance. First one, single inheritance. Whatever the inheritance, it will be only the the class B can be inherited only once. So whatever the things, if you are taking again class C, it can be inherited by class B or any of this. That will be a multi-level inheritance. While coming to the hierarchical, this class C can be inherited to the class A. If you see, this class C can be inherited with class A. That will be hierarchical, and this class B which is inherited the class A will be multi-level. If you come to the multiple inheritance, it can be extended because one class cannot extend two things. See, class C extends class A, class B. This class C. One class cannot be inherited by two because only one feature or the one parents, the both parents can be in class A itself. The other parents cannot come here. So the only thing you can find here is this is one child. This can't be inherited by two natures of parents. Either it may be class A child or class B child. Here the class A itself consists of two members, which will be your mom and your dad. Then the other class B child can be any other class. Next is polymorphism. If you see this example, now speak. A person is telling to speak. The person can be speaking here in this, our language, and the duck, this dog, and this cat is speaking in different languages. But whatever they are doing is the same thing. Something like we are speaking here. I am speaking here. If I am telling any other animals or any other things to speak, it will be speaking. The dog will be speaking as in their language as woof, and duck as quack, and the cat as meow. Whatever the things here, this person is speaking in now speak. We can understand this language, but the dog can understand the dog languages and the duck languages, and this is the cat languages. One thing, whatever the thing it is doing, it will be different ways. We can see here one task, only one task. I have said to speak, whoever it may be. It may be a dog, it may be a duck, it may be a cat, whoever it may be. It is only one task. It is spoken by different things. That is called polymorphism. In a different ways, only one task. The next is the customer differently draws something shape of a rectangle. See, if you see here, a customer who are taking as an artist, see, class A is having a draw function. He can draw or anything. You are telling a class to draw something. Some might be drawing trees. Some can draw circle. Some can draw rectangle. Some can draw triangle. It's their will and it's their wish. But the only task you have set to is draw something. So they were drawing something. The next is compile time and the run time. The method overloading and method overriding. These were polymorphism, two types. One is compile time and other is run time. The compile time is method overloading. It will be having the same thing, whatever the things you are having, same class or the same method it will be having, void main, and the other is also having the same method called void main. But the parameters will be different. If you are taking empty parameter here and here it should be int a. This is method overloading. Same method name but different parameters. This is called method overloading. While coming to the method overriding, if you see here, it will be same methods. Whatever the things, same method and same parameter. It should not be int a or anything. The method should be same and the parameter should be also same. Like void a, void a. It will be overriding all the details from this method to this method. we'll be using a keyword called this to override all the things. We'll be using this keyword to override void A from this method to this method. Another example is the same thing I've shown in the previous picture. Next is abstraction. Here the abstraction is having the two things. One is abstract class and the other one is interface. First we'll see about abstract class. It is about the hiding functionalities. Both the abstract class and the interface, both the things will be doing the same thing. It will be hiding the functionalities. But the only difference we can see here is the whole abstract class will be having both abstract and non-abstract things. But if you see the interface thing, it will be having only abstract things. Whatever the things you are taking, that should be abstract. It is the default structure should be as a abstract thing. For in abstract class, if you are taking anything, it can be defined as two things, either in as abstract things or in as a non-abstract things. Only it will shows the necessary abstract classes, the things which you want to see it. Not all the functionalities can be seen by everyone. For example, a mobile phone, you can see the only display, the back, the whatever the functionalities inside it is running, you can't see it. You can just use it. In the same way in abstract class also. This is the abstract class name. You can use as abstract, non-abstract methods, abstract methods, or abstract classes, non-abstract classes. Both can be used in the abstraction. While coming to the interface, only abstract methods. It is purely abstract methods itself. You can't use any non-abstract methods because it can't be implemented. In interface, you will be using the element or a keyword as implement. In this, you can do multiple implementation. You can't do it in inheritance, but you can implement or you can interface the whole things in the interfacing, which can be used with the keyword as implement. Pure abstract classes, it implements the data. Whatever the data you're having, as I've said, the implement, the function which is the keyword of interface, the implements whatever the data, if you want to do it, it will be implemented. This is the syntax. You will be using the interface, the class name, whatever the class name you are giving, method name, and class implements class name. This method is abstract method, and this class which is inheriting or any implementing or interfacing should be only the abstract class. Then if you see this, you are directly giving just int main and void print in interface printable. In the printable Java, you are saving as printable Java. But if you are compiling and while coming to the runtime in a dot class things, it will be as a abstract void, which can't be taken into. In interface, whatever the things you were giving, it will be taken as a abstract things. While coming to the int main, it will be a final thing. Final, which is also known, which is a constant thing. You can't change it further. In the same way, this abstract void print also, you can't change it further, the names or anything. The next is, if you see, one class can be extended. In the inheritance, if you have seen, one class can be extended by the other thing. But this class, whatever the class you are taking, it can be implemented for the interface. This is the abstract. This can be implements. It will be implemented to the interface thing. While coming to both abstracts, this is both abstract classes, whatever the things. This is interface printable. This interface printable, it can be printed only by the interface, whatever the interface you were taking. You can take it as interface A implements this printable. See here, this interface will be implementing or else extending whatever the things you can take it as, it will be interface A and printable. In the class, if you are implementing, it should be an interface itself. While coming to the interface, if you are extended, sorry, here it's extends. It will extend the data. Whatever the interface you are having here, it can be extended with the other interface. In the coming videos, we'll see the coding parts of everything. Thank you.